The sensor suite registers a high-value maritime signature on the periphery of the operational area, a capital ship executing standard transit maneuvers. Within the networked command node, a fire control officer validates the target profile against established rules of engagement and authorizes the strike sequence. The subsequent events unfold with a velocity that compresses decision cycles to critical thresholds. A projectile accelerates skyward, transitioning to a low-altitude, high supersonic cruise phase. Maintaining a minimal radar cross-section just meters above the wave tops, it closes the distance. The target's defensive systems have a compressed window, perhaps 15 seconds from initial detection to terminal impact, to achieve track lock, calculate an intercept solution, and deploy countermeasures against a 300-kilogram kinetic energy package arriving with sub-meter precision. From a purely physics-based perspective, the probability of successful defense approaches zero. This is not a theoretical construct from a future conflict simulation. This is the operational reality imposed by the BrahMos weapon system, a platform that has necessitated a fundamental recalibration of strategic planning and defense education in the 21st century. Conceived in 1998 through a joint venture between India's Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, and Russia's NPO Mashinostroyenia, the BrahMos cruise missile represents a unique synthesis of technological expertise and strategic foresight. The collaboration leveraged Russia's extensive heritage in ramjet propulsion and supersonic missile design with India's burgeoning capabilities in guidance systems, software development, and systems integration. The nomenclature, a portmanteau of the Brahmaputra and Moscow rivers, symbolizes this deep technical and strategic partnership. What began as a project to develop a single high-performance anti-ship missile has evolved into a multi-platform, multi-role strike system with profound implications for regional and global security architectures. The analytical significance of BrahMos extends beyond its raw performance metrics. While its Mach 3 speed, approximately 1 kilometer per second, is a critical factor, its true disruptive potential lies in the synergistic combination of this velocity with exceptional precision, operational versatility across multiple domains, and inherent resistance to conventional countermeasures. This confluence of capabilities compels military analysts and geopolitical strategists to re-evaluate established doctrines concerning power projection, sea control, and anti-access area denial, A2AD strategies. The core technical differentiator of the BrahMos is its two-stage propulsion system. The initial stage utilizes a solid propellant booster to rapidly accelerate the missile from launch platform to supersonic speeds. Upon achieving the necessary velocity, the booster is jettisoned, and a liquid-fueled ramjet engine ignites. Unlike turbojets or turbofans that require complex rotating machinery to compress air, a ramjet relies on the forward motion of the missile to compress incoming air for combustion, making it significantly more efficient and powerful at high supersonic speeds. This enables the BrahMos to sustain its Mach 3 velocity throughout the majority of its flight profile, unlike many other supersonic missiles that only achieve peak speed during a brief terminal sprint. The guidance architecture is equally sophisticated, employing a multimodal approach to ensure accuracy and autonomy. An advanced inertial navigation system, INS, provides primary guidance, maintaining trajectory based on internal sensors. This is augmented by satellite navigation systems, GPS, GLONASS, for mid-course updates, enhancing positional accuracy over long ranges. In the terminal phase, an active radar seeker engages, providing high-resolution targeting data to guide the missile to its precise impact point. The fire and forget capability is a direct result of this autonomous guidance suite, allowing launch platforms to immediately aggress the area or engage other targets, significantly increasing operational tempo and survivability. Furthermore, the BrahMos incorporates advanced flight control algorithms that enable complex terminal maneuvers. These can include high-G evasive turns to defeat close-in defenses or a steep near-vertical dive onto the target. This terminal maneuverability, combined with the missile's high speed and low-altitude sea-skimming profile, often reported to be as low as 5 to 10 meters above the surface, drastically reduces the effective range and engagement time for shipboard radar and missile defense systems. Analytical models and simulation data consistently indicate that even the most modern phalanx CIWS or vertically launched interceptor systems face severe kinematic and reaction time challenges when attempting to engage a BrahMos volley. The physics of intercepting a Mach 3 target at low altitude with minimal warning are inherently unfavorable to the defender. The operational deployment of the BrahMos system fundamentally alters the strategic calculus, particularly in maritime environments. Consider a hypothetical scenario involving a high-value naval task force operating within range of BrahMos batteries deployed on land, sea, or air platforms. A coordinated saturation attack involving multiple missiles launched from diverse vectors simultaneously presents an overwhelming challenge to even the most layered air and missile defense systems. The sheer number of high-speed, low-flying threats arriving concurrently can exceed the tracking and engagement capacity of defensive radars and interceptors. This capability provides a potent A2AD layer, effectively creating no-go zones for adversary naval forces and complicating power projection efforts. Defense analysts widely agree that the BrahMos has democratized A2AD capabilities. Historically, the ability to effectively deny access to a specific operational area, particularly maritime space, was largely confined to major military powers possessing extensive air forces, long-range strike capabilities, and sophisticated electronic warfare assets. The BrahMos, however, provides nations with relatively smaller defense budgets a credible means to threaten and potentially neutralize significantly more expensive and technologically advanced platforms such as aircraft carriers, amphibious assault ships, and large surface combatants. This shifts the cost-exchange ratio dramatically in favor of the defender employing BrahMos, making the projection of power into contested littoral or coastal regions a significantly riskier and more costly undertaking for potential adversaries. The strategic impact is further amplified by the system's multi-platform versatility. The BrahMos family includes BrahMos A, air-launched, carried by specially modified Sukhoi Su-30 MKI fighter aircraft, providing a standoff strike capability with extended range and the ability to attack targets from unpredictable directions. This variant significantly enhances the operational reach and flexibility of air power in maritime strike roles. BrahMos S, ship-launched, deployed from vertical launch systems, VLS, or angled launchers on a wide range of naval vessels, from destroyers and frigates down to smaller corvettes. This allows even smaller navies to field a potent anti-ship and land attack capability. BrahMos L, land-based. Mounted on mobile Tatra trucks, providing a highly mobile and survivable coastal defense or land attack capability. These batteries can be rapidly deployed and relocated, making them difficult targets for preemptive strikes. BrahMos U, submarine-launched. Fired from standard torpedo tubes or dedicated vertical launch systems on submarines, offering a stealthy, submerged strike capability that is extremely difficult to detect and counter. This comprehensive multi-platform deployment capability ensures that the BrahMos threat can emanate from virtually any domain, air, surface, or subsurface, forcing adversaries to invest heavily in multi-layered, complex defensive systems across all domains, often with diminishing returns against a coordinated BrahMos attack. The introduction and proliferation of the BrahMos system have necessitated significant adjustments in operational doctrine and training for navies and air forces worldwide. Military planners must now operate under the explicit assumption that high-value surface assets are vulnerable to high supersonic precision strike from multiple vectors. This has led to observable changes in naval deployments, particularly in regions like the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea, where BrahMos is deployed or potentially could be. Task forces maintain greater dispersion, operate further from potentially hostile coastlines, and invest heavily in electronic warfare and active-passive decoys designed to confuse or saturate incoming threats. Naval exercises increasingly incorporate realistic BrahMos simulation scenarios, often highlighting the challenges of achieving timely detection, tracking, and engagement of Mach 3 targets. These exercises serve as critical defense education tools, underscoring the limitations of current defensive technologies against such threats and driving requirements for future system development. The psychological impact on commanders is also significant. The knowledge that a single, relatively inexpensive missile can potentially cripple or sink a multi-billion-dollar warship creates a pervasive sense of vulnerability that influences risk assessment and operational decision-making at all levels. As Naval Strategist Commander, Reddibar, Abhijit Singh aptly notes, the BrahMos has effectively extended sophisticated A2AD capabilities to regional actors. This capability shift has profound geopolitical implications, potentially altering the balance of power in key maritime choke points and disputed territories. Nations equipped with BrahMos gain significant leverage in regional security dynamics, complicating intervention scenarios and raising the potential costs of conflict for external powers. The export market for BrahMos, though carefully controlled by the Indo-Russian joint venture, is expanding, with the Philippines being a notable recent customer. Further proliferation to other nations in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and potentially elsewhere will continue to reshape regional security landscapes and necessitate ongoing strategic analysis and adaptation by all stakeholders. The operational effectiveness of the BrahMos has spurred a global technological race to develop viable countermeasures. These efforts are broadly focused on three primary areas. Kinetic interceptors. Developing missile defense interceptors capable of achieving the extreme speeds, maneuverability, and guidance precision required to physically collide with or kinetically defeat a Mach 3+ target. This requires significant advancements in propulsion, airframe design, and seeker technology. The physics of intercepting a target moving at Mach 3+ are daunting. The closing speeds are immense, leaving minimal time for tracking and course correction. Directed energy weapons, DEW. Exploring the use of high-powered lasers and high-power microwave, HPM systems to engage and neutralize incoming missiles. Lasers could potentially destroy the missile's structure or guidance optics, while HPM could disrupt or fry its electronic systems. While promising, DEW systems face significant challenges related to power generation, beam propagation through the atmosphere, especially in adverse weather, and achieving sufficient dwell time on a high-speed target. Advanced electronic warfare, EW. Developing sophisticated jamming, deception, and spoofing techniques to disrupt the BrahMos' guidance systems, particularly its terminal radar seeker and satellite navigation receiver. This requires detailed intelligence on the missile's operating frequencies, waveforms, and guidance algorithms, which are closely guarded secrets. Furthermore, modern missiles often incorporate anti-jamming capabilities, making EW a complex and continuously evolving technological battle. Despite significant investment and research, a universally effective, reliable, and cost-efficient countermeasure against a coordinated BrahMos attack remains elusive. The inherent speed and low-altitude profile of the missile, combined with potential saturation tactics, continue to challenge the limits of current defensive technologies. This ongoing technological asymmetry underscores the strategic advantage conferred by the BrahMos system.